Hello beautiful people. Yeah, just needed a little bit of a break. So as promised, I'm doing a video on trying to keep warm. We're not quite sure how this winter's going to pan out, but I feel fairly certain that it's going to be bitterly cold. They're going to try the whole rollout of, I can imagine, intermittent blackouts initially, but we'll see, won't we? It's about preparing for it, and if it doesn't happen, then that's great. You'll save a lot of gas, or a lot of this, or a lot of that, ready for when they do. So about a year ago, I bought a gas heater just to try it out for when we go posh camping. When I say posh camping, if you've seen the video of me camping in the sand dunes, that's posh camping. Not quite glamping, just to keep us warm. But I never got around to using it, so I tested it out. It was great, and it was put back away again. So I've had a look on eBay. They're still a little bit more expensive than they were back then, but not much. So yeah, I'll crack on. Please don't. So this is a Marksman outdoor gas heater. Now I know it says outdoor, but just bear with me, okay? So it runs off these gas cartridges here. This one came with 4 cartridges, and that's the one that I'll be listing in the description section. So you've got four cartridges that will come with this heater. Now I've tested this. I've sacrificed one of my cartridges just to test out to see how long one of these cartridges will last. And the heat setting that I had it on was just above minimum. Okay. It's got an automatic ignition. It's empty now. It ran out at just after 6 o'clock, but I put it in there at 1:15. So I've got no choice but to give this 10 out of 10 for efficiency. It's absolutely incredible. So this here is ceramic, and yeah, even on that setting, it just kept the whole kitchen warm. And I mean, it's kind of open planish. There's no door there, and it was lovely. Yeah, I'm very, very, very impressed with it. However, you do need to make sure, because it does state that it's outdoors, throughout almost 5 hours of this thing running, I've got a fully functional Fire Angel carbon monoxide detector right above it, and it didn't go off once. So if you're going to get something like this, you've got to get 2 of these, because 1 is none, 2 is 1. I'd rather know that I've got at least 1 that's fully functioning. The chances of 2 carbon monoxide detectors conking out on you is very slim, but it's good to have a backup. For the sake of a £5, could save your life. But it didn't go off once. It says 1.3 kilowatts on the box. But I can imagine that's on full throttle, and on full throttle, obviously that's just going to drink gas. But it's unnecessary, because the temperature that was coming off this, the heat that was coming off this, was unbelievable considering the setting it was on. You know, that is, again, it's just above minimum. So yeah, they're the cartridges that it comes with. It's got a carry handle that always stays cool, and it's directable. So if all you've got are these cartridges, the dilemma you're going to have is that that's going to keep you warm, and there are plenty of other ways to keep warm. But you've got to be thinking about cleaning water, purifying water, and cooking, boiling water, blah 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 blah. So you can get hold of these really decent, robust little adapters, and they kind of slot into the slot that's on there like that, and then just tighten it up like that. And then this is my favourite rocket stove. Hang in there. I've only got one hand. The wife won't help me. She's watching some crap on telly. Okay, we're good to go. So this is super powerful. So just for the sake of this very cheap little adapter, you can turn these into a proper stove. The only downside is because they're higher, instead of the smaller butane gas bottles that have got a wider base, they're a lot more stable. So as long as you're not daft, you know, and you haven't got a giant clumsy dog bouncing around all over the place, as long as, you know, and again, keeping it out of the way of kids, keeping all of this stuff out of the way of your kids, and just common sense, you know what I mean? So yeah, we took some of these to Shell Island in Wales, the previous video, and yeah, I mean, these canisters, we did go through quite a lot, but that's because of the efficiency of this not being great, but it does cook your food very, very fast. So if you've not got a heater like this and you can't afford a heater like this, again, it's about staying warm. It's about trying to stay warm. So you're going to need what people are calling a warm room. And that would be a room that gets the most amount of sunlight. So south by southwest facing window preferably, but whichever window you get the most sunshine. So you can get that heat during the day. So I mean, I've heard of people talking about having a tent set up in your bedroom, set up in your warm room, and getting in there, so you've got an extra layer of warmth that you're capturing all that body heat. But what a lot of people are failing to mention in regards to that is that when you're asleep, you know, your heartbeat slows down, your breathing slows down, everything slows down. You're in sleep mode, in repair mode. But even then, you're still, the average human on the average night's sleep, the average adult breathes out roughly half a pint of water a night. So if you've got two of you and you're in a tent, a single skin tent, it's just going to be full of condensation. That's going to be a massive issue this winter if you've not got heat, condensation. And that's from being asleep. I mean, when you're active, you're burning more energy, you're breathing heavier. It's just more and more moisture in the air. And that moisture just tries to find any cold surface, you know, dark little spots, and you can end up with mold, and that can create all sorts of other problems. So that's hopefully you've got sleeping bags. I mean, I've got 2 5-season sleeping bags, and we've got a few like 2 to 3 season sleeping bags as well. Now, sleeping bags were designed to dry out quite easily, provided you've not dropped them in a river or something. You get the idea. And so all you need to do is, if you've not got a sleeping bag and you've just got a quilt, just present the outside of the quilt, the bit that's been on the outside of where you've been sleeping underneath it, and just present that outside to the sunshine coming through the window of your most lit up room. Hopefully it's not a room with 15-foot high ceilings and stuff like that. You want a small room, again, with 2 of them if you're using a gas heater. I'm hoping everyone's got a hot water bottle. If you haven't, you know, again, they're only a couple of quid really. You can get them from pound shops and stuff, even though nothing in the pound shop's a pound anymore. So fill up a flask, boil some water, use a proper camping kettle, because they've got much thinner bases, so they heat up quicker, they're more efficient, they're designed that way. So fill your hot water bottle up and fill a flask up. So during the night, you know, if you're still cold, which you shouldn't be, because you need to get layered up, you know, just put plenty of clothes on, a couple of pairs of socks, you'll be fine. And if your hot water bottle's kind of gone a bit lukewarm, just get up, tip it out, and fill it up with the hot water that you've already got boiled in your flask. So there are other ways to heat your home, and that's using your terracotta plant pots and tea lights. Now, I've not got that on display, because the pots, the terracotta pots that I bought specifically for that purpose have been repurposed by the wife to grow herbs and stuff in. So if I touch those plant pots, she'll batter me. So I'll put some videos that I think are pretty decent in the description box, so that you can find your own way. They're very, very, very efficient. Again, I would still recommend getting something like that and keeping it at kind of between waist and head height, preferably about a meter and a half away from your heat source. And that's pretty much it. It's a crap video, really. But hopefully I would just give you some ideas. I can't speak highly enough about this, but eventually I'm going to run out of these canisters, and so are you. We're going to run out of tea lights, and so are you. So it's about coming up with ways of minimising the amount of damp in the air, you know, ventilating the room during the day when you're not using it. If you get cold during the day, do a little bit of exercise. Take your little babies out. Go up, and if you've got stairs, go up and down the stairs 3 or 4 times. Not too much, because you don't want to start perspiring. If you wake up in the morning and your clothes are a bit damp, don't worry about it. Your body will dry those clothes out. So you just need to focus on drying your quilt out, drying your sleeping bag out, preferably a sleeping bag. So that's all I've got for you today. I hope it's been useful. If you've got any questions, ask away. It's all good. So much love to everybody, and much love from my little baby. Ciao for now.